In this section, we're going to look at updating our main content area, so our main container that has all of our content within it. So we do have it outlined right now. So when we look at here, we do have an outline of it, and maybe I'm going to add in these outlines into the two separate class sections that we have that we're going to be working with, so we can get a better idea of what we're presenting and how we want to present that content. So we do have 1 and 2, and what I ideally want to do is I want to pull the content on the left hand side and I want to pull this side menu on the right hand side. So we're going to do the same thing that we did up here within the head section, where we've got the two sections and we can float them over to the left, and then also we can float it over to the right as well, the sidebar. So let's take a look at this, and we've got our main content there. So this one is floated over to the left hand side, and then we have to figure out what width we want it to take up. So maybe we want to take up 60%, so we're going to do it opposite of what we've got up there. And then next we're going to do the same one for the side menu, and we're going to float it to the right this time, and this time it's only going to take up 40%. So let's take a look at this and see how this is laying out. So now when we're shrinking it, and we've got all of this taking up the proper spacing. And one thing that I am noticing is that our images are not responsive, so this is a really easy fix. Whenever we want to make our images responsive, we do max width, and what max width does is if we have less than the max width available spacing, it creates it to 100%. So these images are 250, but when we run out of the spacing for the 250, then it takes it as 100%. So this makes the images responsive just by that one additional line of code. So we can see there, as we're resizing, it is becoming responsive, those images. So let's go back down to here and look at what else we want to add in. So maybe within the sidebar, one of the things here is we notice that it's popping right over to the right hand side. So ideally we might want to add in just a touch of some padding, so maybe 5 pixels of padding, so that we actually get some spacing between the edges there. And we also probably want to do the same thing for our content, so maybe we even want to do some padding around there, and this is all dependent on how we're presenting our content. So generally with the sidebar, maybe we do a background color just to differentiate it, to make it slightly different colored from our main content area, so that this way the content stands out even more than the sidebar would. Also over here we can center any of their text, or we could center the images if we want to do so. So that's available as well, or we could just let them float over to the left hand side. So this is dependent on how we want to present that content. We can go ahead and get rid of that outline there, and now when we refresh it, we've got our 2-column website all ready to go. And notice that we still have to take care of the footer content, so that's coming up in the next lesson.